Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to check fresh release from Zvezda. This is a 135 scale kit which copies famous German tank destroyer Elefant. It's SDEC FCE 184, and of course it is a new toolkit, so now we have a chance to check commercial sample, and that means you'll get exactly the same kit if you order it from any good model shop. So first of all, here on the top of the box we have this quite attractive box art, I would say, and you can see the vehicle itself. Then on the side we have some information about the kit as well as some safety devices. Here, by the way, you can see a small picture of the decals sheet and also paint numbers. Note that they are given in Zvezda and Tamiya designations. Then here we have some information about the kit. So there are 300 parts and finished model will have length of 23.3 centimeters. Then from the other side we have some other kits in 135 scale. As you can see, they're quite interesting, so if you would like to build something else from German armor World War II time, this might be interesting as well. And then on the rear side we have also the short history note, which is written in Russian and English. Again, some information about the kit. Photos of the finished model, so this model was assembled from this kit which is hidden in this box. And also note that kit includes a decal for Zimmerit. Here you can see it. It should be quite a nice bonus because, as we know, all famous manufacturer companies do not include such bonus into their kits. So that's why you have to do it with your own hands or maybe even buy it separately. Now I'm going to cut through this sticker seal and we will take a closer look at what is hidden inside. So just give me a second. Meanwhile, let me remind you that we are still gathering money for new photo and video equipment. Now we are searching money for the streaming card, so you can help us by pressing the donate button on our website and choosing the amount you would like to send us via PayPal. So here you can see the box. As usual, it was hidden in the cover printed sleeve. As you can see, it is quite thick cardboard, so it should protect everything inside. And here you can see what is actually hidden inside. So all parts are molded from this brown plastic, and now we are going to put it aside and take a closer look at all components. So first of all, here we have small Ziploc bag with decal sheet and also with clear parts. As you can see, there are not that many decals, which is not surprising because German armor was not that colorful, I would say. So here you can see this. Let's zoom in even more. Now we focus the camera. So here is the decal sheet. We have all necessary symbols for several marking options. As far as I can understand, there will be 2 of them. Of course, nobody stops you from searching some aftermarket decals and using them with this plastic. Then also we have this nice plastic mesh. I guess this one will be handy for the engine bay. So you just apply it if you don't want to use PE parts from some aftermarket set, obviously. And then we have also clear parts. As you can see, it's a set of similar sprues. Here we have various clear elements for periscopes and also for the lights, as far as I can understand. Molding quality is really great, but as usual we don't have any masks included here, so you will have to cut them with your own tools and hands. Next, on the top we had this nice brochure on the white paper. As you can see here, we have various safety advices on how to assemble this model and how to be careful. A lot of languages, so I'm sure you'll find your language in this list. And here we have first plastic bag. It comes sealed, so I need scissors. Just give me a second. I'll take them out and we'll cut through the plastic bag. As you can see from from what is possible to see at the moment, here we have track parts. So this model will have plastic tracks, which is really cool because you won't have to waste your time with vinyl analog, and obviously such thing should be more detailed than vinyl cracks. So these are absolutely identical plastic sprues. I'm going to show you only one. So here it is. And here we have the longer length molded as one-piece parts, what should make assembly easier as well. And now we are going to do the zoom mode so that you can check all those parts in detail. Let's go. So here is all the parts. Molding quality is really great, and I hope it will be easy to combine these parts together. Obviously these are not workable tracks, so forget about it, but who really needs the workable tracks in 1/35 scale, I just wonder. So now here we have another plastic bag. Again, I'm going to cut through and we'll check what is hidden here. As far as I can understand, we have here suspension parts, so just give me a second. I will cut through and we will take a closer look. First time this kit was presented on Spielwarenmesse during winter. It was displayed there in assembled state. We have several photos of this finished model, so you can find it in our Spielwarenmesse report. And model was quite nice. So here we have the suspension parts, as I said. Two are absolutely identical, even though I think even the third one should be the similar. So we are going to check only one. Here it is. And let's zoom in a bit more. As far as I can guess, you will have to combine these wheels together. Also, we have some suspension arms here and here as well. So let's zoom in and check those parts closer. As you saw on those wheels, we have the guiding elements here, which should help you with proper alignment. You just place them in the necessary spot and you should be good. And you shouldn't be afraid of any possible damages caused by the wrong assembly. Now we have another plastic bag. It's really good to see that plastic sprues are separated into several plastic bags. So it means less probability to have something broken. But from the other side, it's not that cool to see the sealed plastic bags. Well, it's up to your taste, but I prefer the resealable plastic bags, let's say. So here you can see another pair of plastic sprues. Again, the same set of plastic parts on both. So I will show you only one. Here obviously we have the drive sprockets, and now we are going to do the zoom mode first. And again, we have the guiding pins in all necessary spots. That's really cool because you won't have to deal with trying to align these teeth together. You just place these parts one on another one and you are good to go. And molding quality, again, it looks really great. So I really doubt that you have any problems with this. Next, we have the lower hull part. Here it is. It is quite huge. Here you can see comparison with my hand. And note that it is promoted as a one-piece part. We even have these special strengthening angles, which should give some rigidity to this construction, I would say. And as you can see, we have to cut off this middle section. But otherwise, it's really cool to have it as a one piece. And it means you will have the assembly process a bit faster because, as you can see, this section is molded as a one-piece part. And it should be ready to go into the assembly process just after the cutting of this plastic tab. Okay, next we have the last plastic bag. This one is dedicated to the biggest plastic sprues, so I'm going to cut through this bag and we'll check what is inside. But overall, from what we saw on this previous sprues, kit looks really good, especially for its price. I think it might be an interesting choice for those who would like to replicate the Elefant but don't want to spend a lot of money on Japanese plastic. And now we are going to open it. Okay, so first of all we have panels for the Superstructure. As you remember, it should be placed in the rear area of this tank destroyer, and as you can see here we have it separated into separate panels. All those panels will have to be combined together. We also have here quite complex shaped towing cables, so it will be up to you. Either you use those plastic cables or you replace them with your metal wire from your spare parts. Otherwise, as you can see, attachment points are really thin, and I would say that their amount was reduced to the possible minimum, so it should be quite easy to separate them. Of course, if you plan to keep those towing cables, be careful with them because it will be a bit tricky to separate them without breaking them. They're quite thin. But now we are going to do the zoom mode so that you can see it with your own eyes. Note that various hatches are molded separately, which is really cool because you might use it for some diorama purposes. As far as you can see, there are no figurines included, so do not expect some soldiers or commanders or tankmen being included into this kit, but nobody stops you from adding yours additional resin figurines or maybe plastic figurines to this vehicle. Here we have another large plastic sprue. I think the most interesting part is that we will have the internal section of the main gun assembled, even though here we don't have any interior included. Still, we would get the main gun. Note that main barrel is molded as a one-piece part, and muzzle is also molded as a one-piece part. Both will have to be combined together in order to get a final result. And here, by the way, you can see another example that we have the separately molded hatches, which might be handy as well. Now let's zoom in and do the zoom mode once again. Note that those two parts should be combined together, and again we have the guiding pins which will help you with proper alignment. That's really cool because it should speed up the assembly process. And here we have the last and the biggest plastic sprue in this kit. As you can see, it is dedicated also to the main hull parts. We also have the side skirts, and also, for example, here I think that's a roof panel. We have the rear section and also some other panels. So again, attachment points are quite thin. Here I can see a lot of cutouts. I guess those will have to be filled out with those meshes. And of course, if you plan to use some aftermarket, I guess here we will install some PE parts as well. Now let's zoom in and check all those components closer. And by the way, take a note of pre-molded details on those parts, such as this one, for example. Let's go. So that was the last brown plastic sprue. And now we can move to all those brochures which are included on the bottom of this box. First of all, we have this small advertisement of those new Zvezda kits for small modelers, let's say. As you can see, it is printed like this. Then we have also decals for the Zimmerit. So just give me a second. So here it is. As you can see, it comes in form of decals, so it should be easy to apply all those decals on your vehicle, but you have to be careful while applying all those small sections, because again, these are decals. As you can see, we have quite a unified look, and as we all know, Zimmerit was not that long-lasting material, so I would recommend to replicate some damages on the Zimmerit, because it will change the appearance of your vehicle and make it more realistic, I would say. But otherwise, it's really cool to have such bonus included into the box, because otherwise, I mean, in the other kits, you should spend money in order to get this for your plastic kit. Next, we have also marking guide. This one is printed in color. So here you can see the first marking option. This one comes from Italy, summer 1944. And from the other side, we can see the second marking option. This one comes from Italy, July 1944. And as you can see, those destroyers were captured by Allied forces, so it might be an interesting option as well. And as I said in the beginning, nobody stops you from searching for some aftermarket options, which will look good on this plastic. And now we can move on to the final component of this kit. It's assembly manual. So here you can see it. Typical black and white brochure. It's a traditional style for Zvezda, I would say. Here we have short history note in Russian and English. Also we have some safety advices. And note that here we have some assembly options. So you can assemble with main gun fixed in place. Also we can assemble with open hatches. And that's pretty much all what I can see. Well, let's move on. Here we have the parts map. And then assembly process starts from this frontal panel. We use all the clear parts, so be ready to mask them. Here we continue with installation of this panel onto the lower half panel, or half, let's say. As you remember, it was molded as one piece element. Here we glue together all suspension parts, as well as drive sprockets. And we continue with road wheels, track parts. Here, by the way, you can see that you have to drill some parts in order to install the storage boxes and also to apply the Zimmerit on those boxes, so don't forget about it. Here we continue with using the special mesh. As you remember, it was installed into the frontal section. Then we continue here with, again, periscopes and various hatches which might be open on your vehicle. And note that with the rear section you won't be able to open it because it's molded as one piece part. Here we continue with internal section of the main gun, which won't be visible on the finished vehicle, I remind you, because here we don't have any interior or clear hull panels. Then we continue with installing the superstructure on the hull. Here we continue with panels for the main gun fascia. Here we have the towing cables installed in place, as well as the main barrel. And note that here you will be installing these panels by clicking. Those towing cable ears should be installed by clicking here on the hull part, so you don't have to glue them basically. Here you can see the assembly option for the main gun, so it can be fixed in the travel position or it can be open for the fighting position. And on the last page we have the Zimmerit placement guide for the main hull. So I really recommend to use these decals because they should change, noticeably change the appearance of the vehicle, especially after you apply all the paint and weathering on this vehicle. And note that these decals should be thoroughly dried for 12 hours. So keep it in mind and do not hurry while doing all those assembly steps. So that's all for this video review. In my opinion, we get here quite an interesting kit in 1/35 scale for a reasonable price, and maybe the only thing you need is figurines, of course, maybe some aftermarket for fine detailing, and of course don't forget to replicate some damage to the Zimmerit on this model. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit. Write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Bye.